Hey, it's Dr. Charles, aka CoachMD. In my over 30 years of medical practice, I've made it my goal to help you create a great life by achieving a strong mind, a healthy body, and an unshakable spirit. What I want to talk to you today about is the automatic brain. Yeah, the automatic brain. I wrote a book some years ago called Brain Drain, which talks about our primitive animalistic nature, which is controlled by our automatic brain. And this is a part of our nature which only responds to danger, threat, or vulnerability by two ways: fight or flight. Those are the only two reactions that this brain has, and it runs the majority of our lives. And as a lot of you know, I have talked about the dichotomy of this automatic, primitive, animalistic nature and our divine nature, which is our higher consciousness, which is my belief is connected to a higher God, and that's my belief. But what does this have anything to do with medicine or health, wellness? Well, it has a lot to do with it, because when this automatic brain controls our lives, when it runs our everyday dealings, and most of us aren't aware of that. Yeah, it causes some really bad stuff to happen. And something occurred that I saw in the news this week with Jeff Bezos. Now, most of you know who Jeff Bezos is. He's the former CEO of Amazon, the founder of Amazon. Really a pretty amazing story how he got that company started. And he has become a big superstar and, of course, extremely wealthy, and arguably one of the wealthiest men or people on the planet. So we know that in the hierarchy of things, wealth and money are associated with power. So in the animal kingdom, power is usually brute physical strength. It's usually not wit. It's usually not guile. It's usually not the ability to figure out complex problems or to manipulate other animals. No, it's physical strength. But in the human animal kingdom, power a lot of the times is with money. And so this is the same automatic brain that the monkeys are displaying, that the lions are displaying, but it's a little bit more sophisticated because our brain, our neocortex, which is the newer part of the animal brain, is much larger. And it's it's not any different. It's just more complex in the ability to wield the power of the automatic brain. So this week I read something which totally exemplifies this with Jeff Bezos' reaction as Jeff Bezos threatens to push Leonardo DiCaprio off a cliff after viral video shows actor talking to Lauren Sanchez. And look at this image right here. You see Leonardo DiCaprio towering over Jeff Bezos and his, I'm not sure if they're married now, his new wife or girlfriend or fiance, and she's staring up at him. And look at her. You could see the body language here. Leonardo DiCaprio is towering over. Now, take this, if this was in the Pride in Africa, where you have the lions, and Leonardo DiCaprio is the big lion, and he wants this lioness, and then you have a smaller lion, or let's say an ape. Let's say Leonardo DiCaprio is the alpha ape, and he's coming into the area where there's other apes, and you have a smaller alpha ape of that tribe who has a female ape that this big ape wants to take over. So this is animal kingdom. This is and those of you who used to watch that back in the day, I think it was on NBC, Animal Kingdom showed the dynamic of this primitive animalistic nature. And here you have it. And again, when there's danger, threat, or vulnerability, fight or flight. That's it. Two of two reactions. Some people will say, well, there's also freeze, but freeze is actually when fight or flight are happening at the same time, pulling at each other, and that causes us to freeze. That's just an aside. But let's go over and look more at this article. You're standing between your boyfriend, who happens to be the second richest man to ever walk the planet, and one of the most successful movie stars of the past 30 years. Who do you swoon over? For Lauren Sanchez, the girlfriend of Amazon founder and Centi billionaire Jeff Bezos, the answer, at least according to the internet, is hit on Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh boy. A content-free 6-second clip uploaded to Twitter shows Ms. Sanchez engaged in what appears to be a very interesting conversation with DiCaprio while Mr. Bezos stands by. The body language, again, we stress this is an out-of-context clip, strongly suggests who the third wheel is, okay? So this is really interesting. We're going to watch this clip. And again, why am I interested in this? Because when we're not aware of what's happening, if it's not at the level of our awareness and consciousness, the automatic brain, it will wreak havoc on us, both emotionally and physically, because it will cause us to fight or flee when we don't even know it inside. It's not like we have a place to run or hide with fight or flight. So it's internal, and it causes all sorts of physical ailments. So let's take a look at this clip. Wow. Let's take another look at that. Wow. Yeah, I'm not going to slow it down. I think everybody can get that body language, how she is swooning, she's looking, and that's a threat, right? That's a threat to his manhood. When there's a threat to Jeff Bezos's manhood, what does that mean? That's only the trigger of the automatic brain. That's all, because he is being threatened by a competitor. And when you're threatened by a potential competitor, you either fight or you flee. And it appears that this has sparked him to fight a bit. The clip quickly went viral, with many suggesting Ms. Sanchez was flirting with DiCaprio. Mr. Bezos, whose net worth is more than $270 billion, responded to the clip by, jokingly we hope, threatening his potential love rival. So here Mr. Bezos was married to a woman who was with him from the beginning of Amazon, dumped her, let's say. I don't want to take sides because I don't know the ins and outs, but let's apparently think, it looks like he might have dumped her by going for a younger woman who now he feels threatened. So you can't win, right? When you trust and take direction, when you believe, trust, and take direction from your automatic brain, your primitive animalistic nature, rather than your divine nature, you're going to be in big trouble in life. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, but it's going to wreak havoc on your emotional and physical health. So let's see what Mr. Bezos does with this. Leo, come over here. I want to show you something he posted on Twitter next to an image of a shirtless and surprisingly ripped Mr. Bezos and a sign warning, danger, steep cliff, fatal drop. Look, showing his muscles, flexing his muscles. I mean, if this isn't automatic brain 101, I don't know what is. I mean, this is like the ape, pounding the chest and coming into, we've seen it maybe on Animal Kingdom or some other, the Nature Channel or whatever, on where an alpha ape comes into an area and steals the female, right? Pounding the chest and beating up on the smaller alpha male in that area. I'm not sure what you call a group of apes, but this is automatic brain 101. The threat of a date with gravity doesn't appear to have fazed DiCaprio, who hasn't responded to Mr. Bezos. And I hope he doesn't. This is totally animalistic, primitive reaction, fight or flight. And look at that. I mean, this is really, again, Leo is Mr. Steel, Yo Girl. Again, we have, it's switching to Twitter, which I didn't want to do. So I'm going to go back if I can. We saw this. Let's see if I can go back. I'm going to try to go back on this. Escape out of here. Okay, no, that's not going to work. All right, let me see if I can get out of here. I don't want to really go with this. Let's go back to that. Okay, all right. So it really is not pleasant what we're seeing here. Mr. Bezos has been romantically linked to Ms. Sanchez since 2019 when he divorced his wife of 25 years, Mackenzie Scott. As part of the divorce, Ms. Scott was granted 25% of the couple's shared Amazon stock without voting rights, which at the time was worth $49 billion, making her one of the richest women in the world. But it doesn't matter. You could have all the riches in the world, all the riches, but when you believe, trust, and take direction from your automatic brain, you can't be happy. I really hope that Mackenzie Scott puts this behind her. Obviously, Mr. Bezos is going to continually seeking happiness, but again, it's not going to be found when you leave your wife of 25 years for a younger woman. What's going to happen when that younger woman ages? Are you going to start seeking refuge somewhere else? No. This is the point that I want to drive home. And we are animals in our body. But somehow the humans have been chosen, if you will, as I believe, by a higher source to have a consciousness, a divine nature. And when we choose that path, that is the true path to happiness. But when we believe, trust, and take direction from the animalistic, primitive nature that all of us has, we can't be happy. So let me know what you think. And until next time, I'm Dr. Charles, a.k.a. CoachMD, urging you to stay strong in mind, in body, and in soul. Bye for now.
Hey, Dr. Charles, CoachMD. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think you have a friend who might benefit from this video, share it with them. For access to exclusive content, support my Patreon. There you'll get private access to videos, meditations, health tips, even relationship and financial tips. You'll have a say in what I produce and be able to participate in a monthly call with me. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.